The Yummy archetype, which first released in 2025's Justice Hunters booster pack, is a collection of light beast monsters themed as plushy crane game prizes that are little black cats that are dressed as different types of delicious sweets. While their name of Yummy is of course a reference to how yummy and scrumptious they are, it is also a much darker naming scheme. By that I mean, in the Japanese, they're called Yami, which sounds like yummy, but it means darkness. You should know that by Yami Yugi by now. But that's clever, because they're little black cats that are actually like little shadow creatures, and they're called darkness, Yami, but it sounds like yummy. If I have to give one thing to Konami, they do some clever stuff with these namings, I must admit. The true nature of these monsters being crane game prizes was revealed in the artwork of Yum Yum Yummies, which shows the reality that all the main deck monsters, Cupsy Yummy, Cookie, Lollipo, and Marshmallow, are in fact plushes inside of their own crane games, with Yummy Snatchy, the link monster of the deck, being the claw that grabs them. In fact, whenever Snatchy grabs one of the Yummies, it creates one of the Synchros. All of their artworks result in Snatchy snatching them up. However, in the supporting cards artwork, it is revealed that within the crane game machine itself, while in the real world to us, they're just little plushies, in their own world, there's a whole storyline. There's a whole world that they frolic and play in. That is, it seems, until these alien invaders arrive.
A stranger from the outside.
Greetings. Who's in charge here?
The plot chooses who will go and who will stay.
This is ludicrous.
It's revealed in some promotional work that the Yummy monsters' true forms are of shapeless shadows, described to feel like a soft slime-like material. The reason why they decided to climb inside of sweet containers is because it makes them feel happy. It appears that they aren't actually fully aware that what they're climbing into is that of food. Yummy Snatchy, the one that snatches the Yummy monsters, has a more pudding-like squishy body. The rainbow crab-like device on his back acts like a crane game claw, picking up the Yummies. And after snatching a Yummy, he takes it back to his rocket, which looks like a prize-out chute. And of course, because they're like aliens, he's abducting them like how aliens alien abduct, so he's a UFO as well. So it's kind of an alien slash crane game fusion. They mix some wacky stuff together in Yu-Gi-Oh, don't they? In-game, the main deck Yummy monsters are all level 1 light beasts. All the main monsters share a very consistent playstyle. The archetypal ability that they can special summon themselves to the field if you control a Link 1 or a level 2 Synchro. As well, each has their own unique effect when they are summoned to the field. However, this effect can also be buffed if they are specifically summoned by a Synchro monster's effect to the field. For example, Cupsy Yummy. It is based on a Japanese parfait. It is the primary searcher of the deck. When it is summoned, you can add any Yummy card from your deck to your hand. However, if summoned through a Synchro effect, you can instead draw a card. Cookie Yummy. Based on a cookie, while also holding a delicious checkerboard cookie, it helps control the board by dropping an opponent's attack by 1000 when summoned to the field. Or when summoned by a Synchro effect, it can destroy them instead. Lollipo Yummy, based on a lollipop, it handles the graveyard, shuffling back into the deck an opponent's monster, or just completely banishing it from the grave if summoned through a Synchro monster effect. Finally, we have Marshmallow Yummy. Based on a marshmallow while it is holding a twisted marshmallow. This actually really reminds me of something we have in the UK. It's called a flump. I think it's just a brand of that twisted marshmallow. But like that took me right back to my childhood. I couldn't tell you the last time I've had one of these. I remember it very distinctly. Now, Marshmallow Yummy is the newest addition to the archetype. It was released in Doom of Dimensions. It specializes in recycling your support cards by either adding a Yummy spell in the grave back to the hand on summon, or when summoned through a Synchro, it can place a Yummy field spell or continuous spell straight onto the field, face up from the deck or banishment. It also has a slightly different summoning condition than the others. Able to special summon itself to the field while you either control no monsters or all monsters you control are light beasts, meaning this monster is a fantastic extender. Something you might also notice about these cards' artworks is, if you look at the bottom, these monsters come in variant flavors. Meaning in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe, it's probably not cheap if you want to collect them all, because there's a lot of different ones you can get. And let's be honest, they weren't that cheap in Master Duel as well if you wanted to build the deck. How many ultra rares do I need to play the deck? Oh my goodness. The boss monster of the deck is the Link 1 Yummy Snatchy. Visually, Snatchy is a hybrid of a UFO and a Crane Game Claw. Snatchy's job is to literally abduct the other monsters. We can see this happen in the artwork for the Synchro monsters. You can see Snatchy carrying the various cats away. The reason why this is depicted is that its effect is when it's summoned, it places one Yummy field spell from the hand or deck straight onto the field. But you cannot link summon, link 3 or higher link monsters for the rest of this turn. Once per chain during the main phase or the opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can pay 100 life points, Synchro summon using Yummy monsters you control. What's even better is the Synchro monsters are able to use Snatchy as a material since they all treat the Link 1 monster as a level 1 tuner on the field. So essentially, this Synchro focus deck is pretty awesome because you have this Link 1 Snatchy on the field and any of the Yummy monsters. Your opponent tries to do anything to them, you save them by using your Snatchy's ability to take itself off the field, and it abducts one of the Yummy monsters on your field to Synchro into a new monster. Your opponent does anything, that monster becomes 2 new monsters, including one of them being the Snatchy. Your opponent does anything again, the Link 1 abducts the level 1 monster on the field to go to another one of the level 2 Synchro monsters, and you just keep repeating this. It's very strong. The Synchro monsters of the deck are all upgrades to the main deck Yummies. Each shares the archetypal effect that they can tag themselves out by returning to the extra deck to special summon 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard. This benefits you because you are able to dodge anything that targets your monsters, and as well, those Yummy monsters summoned to the field will activate their disruption effects. As well, the Synchro monsters each have an on-summon effect as well for even more disruption. Their unique effects are Cupsy Yummy Way lets you add any 2 Yummy monsters from your deck to your hand when summoned, but then you discard a card. Cookie Yummy Way lets you target 2 monsters the opponent controls and flip them face down. Lollipo Yummy Way lets you summon 2 Yummy monsters in the grave to your field with their effects negated. We are currently missing a Synchro version of Marshmallow Yummy Way, so I'm really curious to see, what do you think this guy's effect would be? Keep in mind, its on-summon effect will probably have something to do with spells, but its other ability, which lets it special summon 2 Yummy monsters in the grave, could be different if it is also based on the original main deck variant. Because Marshmallow was different from the rest, maybe the Synchro version of this will be as well. Only time will tell. Essentially, these cats have mastered the 5 Ds of dodging.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
They're slippery. Now, at this point, if you're not saying, wait a minute, that's all good that you can dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge with these monsters, and they've got a bit of disruption, but have you looked at their stats? Their stats are absolutely awful. How do you translate that into winning? Well, that is where their 2 field spells come in. Specifically, one of them that lets you go on the offensive, and the other one is more defensive. So let me explain. The deck thrives on its field spells. You'll use Yummy Amusement Mignon on your turn for big attack boosts that help you push for game. For each light beast monster on the field, Yummy monsters gain 500 attack. Meaning with just a couple of these guys out, you've got an easy OTK. As well, Mignon helps with recursion, as if you have the link on the field, you can special summon a level 1 Yummy in the grave. And if this card is in the grave, it can shuffle itself and 2 Yummy monsters also in the grave or banished back into the deck to be used again later. Yummy Amusement Acrokey is to be used on the opponent's turn, as it lets you destroy cards when you Synchro summon, and if a monster is removed from your field by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon a Yummy straight from your deck to the field. It as well allows you to shuffle itself and 2 Yummy monsters in the grave or banish zone back into the deck. And of course, to wrap all this up, we can't forget the remaining support cards. Yummy Surprise is a crucial card to the archetype, as it's a quick play spell that lets you either bounce 2 of your light beasts to the hand to bounce 2 of your opponent's monsters back to the hand. You can special summon a Yummy monster from the hand or grave, or finally, you can bounce your field spell from the field or graveyard back to your hand to activate one in your hand, be it the same one or a different one. Yum Yum Yummies is a continuous spell that burns the opponent and heals your life points by 500 every time the cats get snatched and resummoned to the field. It also lets you pay 500 life points to target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including Snatchy, send both to the grave, and then summon a Yummy Synchro monster. If the opponent activates a card or effect, this card can pay 100 life points to immediately link summon 1 Yummy Link monster. Yummy Redemption is a continuous trap that instead weakens the opponent's monsters by 200 for each light beast on your field and in your grave. Also, once per chain, if a light beast is synchro summoned, you can draw 1 card, then shuffle 1 card in your hand back into the deck. Also, you can banish this card in the grave to target a Yummy monster you control and 1 monster the opponent controls. Switch control of those 2 monsters. Assist Yummy. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can pay 100 life points, and if you do, your opponent pays 100 life points. During the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can send 2 face-up Yummy cards you control to the grave, including this card, return 1 card from the field or graveyard back to the hand. You can also banish this card from the grave, send 1 Yummy card from your deck to the grave, except Assist Yummy. If you're interested in playing this deck, I've got like a kind of skeleton here you can use that I'm currently playing on Master Duel. This is the pure version, so if you like the look of it, you can have a good time with this. Cookie Yummy, force feed his Marakumo. 15,500 attack. Oh my god. Go! Cookie Yummy obliterates his scary ritual monster. Yummy Way attack again. And finally, Marshmallow. Hot damn. And to get you started, for the main combo, summon any Yummy monster. Link it into Snatchy. Place the minion field spell onto the field. Use the field spell's effect to summon the Yummy in the grave back to the field. Synchro summon Cupsy Yummy Way. Use its effect to add Cupsy Yummy and Marshmallow Yummy to your hand. Summon Cupsy, add Surprise from your deck. Summon Marshmallow. After this, well, it's all up to you, whatever you want to go into. The worst thing this deck can go against is any towers monsters, like monsters that are unaffected by things. This deck really struggles to get rid of those sometimes. You can get high attack to attack over those monsters, but if they're also resistant to battle destruction, can be a bit tough sometimes. Overall, the Yummy Archetype is a good mix of cute, but very competitive. What do you think of the Yummy Archetype? Let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, check out one of these 2 videos if you fancy. Don't forget to subscribe, but all the best. Catch you later. Bye, everyone.